12 of the NFL season, and we've got a good one in store between the New Orleans Saints and the San Francisco 49ers. The final playoff push is upon us. It's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. And the opening kickoff will not be returned as that touchback. They'll start with a run by Mitchell. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
It's a gain of 5. Brings up 2nd and 5.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. On 2nd down, here's Mitchell. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The Niners have the first down on a gain of 11.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
Ready. Shot, 17. Strike. Check, strike, ready.
First down, here's Mitchell. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3. The Niners, it's 7-3 now on the year, and they've been in a great groove. Winners of 7 of their last 10 now on the year.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Once again, it's Mitchell. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield after a gain of about 4. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. They'll try and pick it up with Mitchell. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. That'll back him up 2 yards and also bring up 4th.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness. He's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
On 4th down, the Niners trot out Mitch Wishnowski to punt the football. He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. And this ball is going to be down now right at the 10-yard line. Good spot.
Well, someone's going to be happy with that effort. You know who else is going to be happy? His defense.
Absolutely.
He's created a very long field for that offense to try to traverse.
And he got some help from Mr. Football there, checking up nicely. Good English on that punt. The first down throw for Winston. Throw left side complete. That's Hill. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2. Well, this defense for the Niners, they were excellent a week ago in the victory over Arizona.
It was a little bit enlightening talking with the defense coordinator about their performance last week because the feeling was that it was a good, solid performance. They did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win, but definitely a few lapses that they're looking to correct.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. He'll lose a yard on the play, so now they need 3 yards on 3rd down. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. And a stoppage here, a timeout before this 3rd down play takes place. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. '49ers have an extra defensive back on the field. A nickel set for 3rd down. From the shotgun, it's Winston. That pass complete to Deontay Hardy. He's going to have the first down and more than that. Now he's loose at the 40. Touchdown, New Orleans. Deontay Hardy, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Saints are on the board first here this afternoon. Well, fair to say that when you're looking at guys that can run like the wind, you often find him at the wide receiver position, and that was special there.
And that's the kind of play where you have to kind of catch your breath afterwards. So just give me a second here, because when he shifted into high gear, he was an absolute blur out there. No substitute for speed. We talk about that all the time. The evidence was right there.
And if you're wondering just how fast he was going, Next Gen Stats says 21.8 miles per hour. And this will be returned from deep in the end zone. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And, you know, it's certainly a lot of football left to play. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're in first place in their division, looking really good and looking to be a threat come January.
And are you one of those early holiday shoppers, partner? Are you one of those guys get your list done? Because I think about what every team has on their holiday shopping list right now. What's the #1 goal? Make the playoffs. #2, win your division. #3, and I think the biggest goal of all, try to get the #1 seed so you get that first-round bye and ensure you don't have to go anywhere in January and hopefully get to the Super Bowl that way.
That's a gain of 3. Brings up 3rd and 12.
looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. And the Saints signal for another timeout. And that's their second charge timeout here in this first quarter. They're down to 1 remaining. And for the Saints here on 3rd down, an extra defensive back on the field.
Fight blue. Blue, go. Ready, go.
Now Lance. And tight coverage there. It's knocked away, incomplete.
That looks like it's going to be 2 empty possessions now to start this football game. I think they're going to have to sit down and talk about what worked for them last week in their win. Sometimes you over-game plan, overthink things. Get back to what works.
We'll call it a 42-yard punt, 3 on the return. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And they'll be looking to make this a 2-score advantage. Had the touchdown on their first drive, Charles. Hey, they can get up 2 scores here on the road. That's a heck of a start.
And not only have they thought about it, I wonder if they visualized it. I remember playing, and they used to turn the lights out in our meeting room and run through a situation like this and say, just think about what it would be like to be up on the road and take the crowd out of it. Maybe they did something with that.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Winston to give. It's Kamara. And he'll be tackled at the 45 following a gain of just 2.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on 1st down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the 1st down. On 3rd down, Winston. Got an open man. It's Olave. Touchdown, New Orleans. Chris Olave, 55 yards. And the Saints lead this now 13-0 here in the opening quarter of the ball game. Lutz good on the extra point, and it's now 14-0. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. He will return this from deep in the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a 1st down now.
Ran the perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And once more, this play going in the wrong direction. The Saints get to him behind the line again. Got his target, Samuel. And oh, he coughed it up. And this is picked up by the Saints. And he's into the end zone. A fumble return and a Saint touchdown. Well, Charles, not only did they fumble the football, but they're starting to fumble away their chances here a little bit. We've got a 3-score ball game now here in the first half.
And the last thing you want to do, partner, is help the other team with what are avoidable turnovers. You want to hang on to the football because you're already playing against a good team. You're just making it easier for them by giving them extra opportunities.
So how about this for a start? 21-0 here in the first as they kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Lance and the 49ers now. 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. And Lance now to throw. And this complete to Mitchell. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8.
And they'll use him out in the backfield, and sometimes quite a bit. They're just trying to get him touches any way they can. 4 catches a week ago. There's another one right there.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Here's Lance. Completes it to the tight end, Kittle. Lance and Kittle in sync for the 49er first. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
At the 44-yard line.
Here we go. Here we go.
21-0 our score after 1.
The score is Saints 21, 49ers nothing.
Let's go.
2nd and 9 from the 44. Here's Lance to throw it. His throw incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
Okay, ready?
This offense so far on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 9. Now Lance unable to escape, and down he goes.
A loss of 9 brings up 4th down.
And they'll go for it. Lance. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. A surprising move to go for it. Predictably, at least somewhat predictably, it doesn't pay off. And the Saints are going to get it back and in great shape. Now a 1st down carry. It's Kamara. And out of bounds right around the 20. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Kamara gets it again on 2nd down. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there forcing a loss on that play.
Winston from the gun on 3rd down. And that ball incomplete, nearly intercepted. Took a chance with that one. It'll lead to a 4th down. The kick by Lutz is good. So the starting field position was terrific following the surprising turnover on downs, but the end result, only 3 points.
Simply stated, I think you have to look at that as a missed opportunity.
We'll see a return here from the end zone. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one.
At their own 18-yard line.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the 2nd quarter, but you're down.
Want to.
Well, no, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
Now on 2nd and 13. Lance, screen play, setting it up for Mitchell. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. They get 7 there on the screen. It'll set up a 3rd down.
And that doesn't have to gain big yardage to be an impactful play, because if you get those pass rushers second-guessing themselves, that they might get hit with a screen, maybe you can wind up slowing them down just a step. And if you do that, that's a win for that play.
And he'll be corralled right around the 34. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down. It's been a very one-sided game so far. They got to change what they're doing right now, don't they? You can't wait till the halftime speech to make an adjustment.
No, you can't, because if you're doing it right, you're adjusting from series to series, and they need a big adjustment here to try and put some points on the board.
Looking for Gray and finding him once again. Finding room at midfield. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Another 1st down as he went right back to the same well, this time for 17 yards. Lance looks to throw again. Right side, and he finds Gray. And they're going to get this down to about the 37. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. A shotgun handoff to Mitchell. He's got room at the 30. And he's got some space here. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. Elijah Mitchell, his 16th rushing touchdown on the year. And the 49ers are able to make some inroads here to that deficit. Lance going to try to throw for this. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. So unable to throw it in for 2 from the 2. Let me ask you, as a former DB, what changes there around the goal line on a 2-point conversion as far as how you're defending it?
You just make sure you never back up and you never retreat. You establish yourself really on the line of scrimmage, put your heels on the goal line at worst. And if they're going to throw the ball, make them throw it over your head, because they're going to run out of space because of the back of the end zone. Never let a guy catch one in front of you.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They begin on the ground with Kamara. And he'll get this up just shy of the 30.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Now Winston. Trying to get it to Thomas, and it's intercepted. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. Unfortunately for him, if last week was any indication, we knew a pick was coming at some point. Last week it was interception after interception, and here we go again.
We actually quit counting last week at a certain point because I thought I was going to run out of fingers, right? Because I'm not all that skilled as a mathematician. But you're right. It felt like a matter of time. And you got to think the guys on defense, they couldn't wait for this opportunity after what they saw on tape.
Running left, here's Mitchell. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. On 1st and 10, here's Lance. Escaping the pressure right. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. This is 1st and goal, and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime. To throw, it's Lance. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. That'll bring up 2nd and goal after the gain of 5.
A gain of 5 brings up 2nd and goal. Saints 3-yard line.
They'll try to run with Mitchell. And across the goal line into the end zone. Touchdown 49ers. Elijah Mitchell, his 2nd TD of the game and 18th of the year. And the 49ers get a bit closer. So his strong first half continues as he finds the end zone here for the second time.
And definitely good blocking at the point of attack, and you just have to love watching the way he can create space down near the goal line, and he's able to take it into the end zone.
And this is going to be caught, so they do get it. And the 2 points, now they're back down to a 1-score deficit. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. And from the end zone, Deontay Hardy will bring it out. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive. And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You could never have enough points with the high-powered offenses. He's got him in. Complete. And he's brought down here just outside of the 20. Long developing route there on the post corner, but it was worth the wait. It certainly was. I love the way you described it because you do have to sell the post. Usually a couple of steps towards the middle of the field in order to get the defender to turn his hips. And then he touchdown! 3 touchdown passes now in the ball game for Jameis Winston. And the Saints will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. Lutz will look to add the extra point. And that'll make this a 3-score game as the lead moves to 17. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. And with a 3-score deficit staring them in the face, they might have to press the issue here and try to get points out of this drive. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. And that's good for a gain of 6, and it'll be second down.
Ready, go!
Throwing now is Lance. And looking for Kittle, but it's intercepted. Picked off by the corner, Bradley Roby. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Lutz with the extra point, and a rout is on here in this first half.
49ers 14.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. Now a hit and a loose football, and this is picked up by the Saints. And he'll score. Touchdown, New Orleans. So they get the 1-score kickoff. And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right.
Ready.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
First down, San Francisco. The pickup, 14 yards.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Go.
Lance looking to throw it. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
Well, Ray, seen him catch a few passes out of the backfield in the first half, unable to connect on that one.
Certainly seems like getting him the ball out of the passing game, though, is part of their game plan.
It certainly is, because he catches it well, creates a mismatch. You're going to cover him with a linebacker, a corner, a safety. They feel like he can win every battle.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Lance. It's caught. Mitchell. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. Now San Francisco going to call their 2nd timeout as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. New Orleans adding some depth to the secondary. They've got 6 DBs out there now for 3rd. And Lance going to throw. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete. Certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
On the double.
Lance and company going on 4th down. He's going to have his running back. It's complete. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short. No good. So that would have been something from that distance, but to no avail. Comes up empty as we have reached the intermission. As we'll send you back over to Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report, here's Jonathan Coachman. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the 3rd quarter. Gold now out to kick it away. And we'll see a return here from the end zone. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They start the second half with Kamara, and he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Second down, and it's Kamara again. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting 3rd and about 4 to go.
The way things have gone in this one, the running game's been something of an afterthought, and that's not been too bad for them, has it?
Yeah, the offensive returns have been good, but I guess we figured he in the ground game would be a bit more involved. open man is Michael Thomas. And he is going to have a Saints first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the third quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
He's going to float this over the middle deep. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
When you look at the scoreboard, you'd think they'd be pretty comfortable right now with this lead, but these guys are absolutely not going to let up. They want to increase their lead, and they want to do it with a big play. Unable to connect in that attempt.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Winston. And the Niners get there and bring him down. Nick Bosa has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw up a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. It's hauled in by Hardy. The 30. 10, 5, touchdown, New Orleans. Jameis Winston with his 4th touchdown pass of the afternoon. And the Saints have opened the lead up to 30. Lutz good on the extra point, and the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter.
49ers 14.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. Well, from deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. And he's going to get this across the 20 as he's out of bounds at the 23.
Here we go.
The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive.
A CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history, and that's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And, partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Now a play fake. Lance
steps away. This one into the hands of Kittle, the tight end. And he'll go out of bounds. It appears right at the 45. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
All in all, no gain on the play, and it'll bring up 3rd.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. On play action, Lance
rolling to his left. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. When in doubt, do it yourself as he keeps it for 3 and a first down.
On 3rd down, the defense decided to blitz. A very good job of recognizing it, stepping away from the pressure, and finding open space to scramble and pick up a first down.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. They have not gotten him going at all. Tried to spark something there with a longer throw, unable to complete it.
But you have to keep trying. He's one of their best playmakers. No matter what it says on the scoreboard, you're always trying to get him the football.
Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Lance.
Able to find Gray here.
And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48.
And on 3rd and 5, this will be the 8th play of the drive.
Now Lance. And this pass caught by Gray.
And he won't quite make it. He needed 6. He got about 5. 4th down.
I thought they might take a shot down the field, but instead they ran a little drag route there. I think they were hoping he could catch it and run away from the defender. But a really good job keeping the play in front of them, and they force a 4th down.
Lance to throw for it on 4th down. That's to his running back, complete. And he's going to be taken down at the 28-yard line. So the drive stays alive after the 4th down conversion. 1st and 10 inside the 30. Quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw, partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
2nd and 10 here as we roll along in quarter number 3 from Santa Clara. Here's Lance. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. They'll wind up losing 10 on the sack, and it'll lead to a 3rd and long. Here's Lance to throw it. And it's complete to Mitchell. And this is going to be another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 12-yard line. A real letdown defensively. That was 3rd and a bundle, but they allow the conversion. Well, the margin on that scoreboard, obviously for them, it looks daunting. But I don't know, Charles. They're probably not focused on that right now. Maybe just chaining together a positive drive with plays like we just saw, giving themselves something to build on.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. And what they have to be careful of is getting glued to that scoreboard, trying to do too much. Because if you do that, you're all but guaranteed to start making mistakes. Just focus on one play at a time and make each one successful.
And the Niners are going to be set up with a 1st and goal on a pass play that moves them all the way down to the 1. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports.
Here we go.
They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends.
Right, 97. Black block. Faster, faster.
Mitchell is in. Touchdown, 49ers. Everybody in the stadium knew what they were going to do right there, CD. 3 tight ends on the field, all that extra bulk, and they run it in.
And you saw where that one went, right? You run it over your best blocker. I can just see the head coach right now. I want to run this one over the big boy. And they got it done.
They're going to try and run. And he will find the end zone again. So he gets the touchdown and the 2-point conversion. And that'll cut this deficit down a little bit further. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. From the 6. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They've got to be feeling very comfortable and confident here with this lead in the football here in the 4th quarter, Charles. And I don't think that they need to score again, but it seems like this offense is just getting better as the game goes on. They've scored on their last 2 drives.
It certainly feels like a chance for them to continue to have some fun out there, doesn't it? Game's already decided, as you noted. So they can continue to play loose, break out some other concepts, maybe run a few trick plays, get other people involved. Heck, even go deep on one of these first snaps just because they can.
Quick throw knocked away and incomplete. But their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out because this one, it was over a long time ago.
And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35.
Winston to Thomas there for the Saints first down. Well, normally you might say start running the football. You've got the lead here in the fourth quarter, but the way that they passed it with such success, I don't know, maybe keep throwing it.
Yeah, I think you brought up something that goes against conventional wisdom, right? At this stage of the game, you would think you would switch to a running attack, but you're exactly right. They've thrown it so well throughout the game, and trusting this quarterback, I think he continued to do so.
Couple of first downs to kick off the drive. Here's 1st and 10 up at the 46. From the gun, it's a run for Kamara. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. So the first down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12. Jameis to throw it. Olave over the middle. He's got room at the 30. Touchdown, Saints. Chris Olave, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Saints look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this fourth quarter. Lutz with the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead.
49ers 22.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off.
And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway.
Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were.
And it's a fumble. And this is picked up by the Saints.
Inside the 20.
And he's into the end zone. A fumble return and a Saint touchdown. So that is now 2 fumble return touchdowns. And you talk about something that's going to drive a head coach crazy.
Without a doubt. But for the defensive guys, once you do it once, you create a frenzy. Everybody wants to get involved, and they got it done a second time.
So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit.
Yeah, slightly more difficult attempt here from the 20. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return.
From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone.
Now a hit and a loose football. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy. because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
On the run, he'll let it go deep, right sideline. And incomplete on the deep ball.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
On 2nd and 10, Lance. This one caught by Kittle. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. Lance finding Kittle, first down San Francisco. Well, I mean, look, obviously there's no 20 or 30-point play in that playbook, but they can try to end things here on a positive note despite trailing big, and that looks like what they're trying to do here by pushing the ball downfield.
Well, let me go with the heavy cliche then, partner. Just control what you can control right now, and all they can control here is how their final plays develop.
A big play that time on the catch and run, and it'll move the chains. So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 43. Now Lance unable to escape, and down he goes. That one will set him back nearly 10 yards here on 1st down on the sack.
Oh, you can just see it in their body language. They're starting to see victory on the horizon now, and if it comes to fruition, they got to give a game ball to the front 7. Defensive line has taken charge and controlled this game. Facing challenge of stopping this opposing offense, and they've done so with ease.
And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a 3rd down and long.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
The Niners on 3rd down. They've converted a third of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This will be a tough 3rd and 18. And Lance now to throw. Screen play setting it up for Mitchell. And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line.
And that's a play that's not uncommon on 3rd and long because the offense is just hoping that somehow they can get a guy in space and follow some blockers downfield. Does a pretty nice job there getting a few yards, but he ends up getting stopped before he can get the 1st down.
On the ball. Red cycle.
Desperation time here. Lance. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Niners go for it, but it doesn't work out. And the Saints will have the football back. Well, they were 2 for 3 on 4th down tries. Now they're unsuccessful. That brings them down to 50%.
But that's a percentage you have to feel pretty good about. You know, 2 for 4, 2 for 3 before that, but finally get stopped again. That's okay. That's the type of team that will keep pressing. In this situation, they'll continue to go for it.
A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Kamara gets it again on 2nd down. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage. And no more. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. So 7 yards from the 1st down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. On 3rd down, Winston. And that is incomplete. Oh, he did everything but hold on to it. But a nice play defensively, and now it brings up 4th down. Here comes the Saints punter now. Always a good sign when your first punt comes in the 4th quarter. They'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. And this will be out of bounds, and they spot it at the 15-yard line. Not too bad. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
And he'll be taken down, but they've got this one up to the 35-yard line. That one good for 20 on the catch and run. Right to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Back to throw. Lance, complete to the tight end Kittle over the middle of the field. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
1st and 10 at the 48-yard line.
To throw, it's Lance. Rolling to his right. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. No one there to help out downfield, but no problem scrambling for 22 and a first.
Let's give him the credit he deserves because he can really do no wrong. It's got to be demoralizing for a defense to have someone who can cut up your secondary all game long with his arm and then rip off a huge gain like this with his legs. A championship effort from that man under center.
The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock stops with 23 seconds to go in the game.
Fourth quarter, certainly not enough time for a comeback, but nice to see them making use of the time remaining to try and make this one a little more respectable.
Yeah, I think the ultimate goal, good execution.
Trying for Ayuk, but it's intercepted.
Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore.
And the Saints are going to take possession here as they've got it at their own 4-yard line. Well, they've got the huge lead. Now they have another interception on the defensive side. Seems like everything they touch in this one, Charles, turns to gold.
And they have to be awfully happy right there to get what appears to be one more for the road and help seal away one of their best efforts of the season.
All right, so they got that one, Charles, against the center.
And let's remember how difficult it is for the center because, remember, he's got to snap the ball to put the play in motion. And sometimes you got that big guy on your nose. You got sometimes where he's coming at you at an angle.